everyone, welcome to Hardcore Enduro. It's all about getting out and riding the hard stuff. I'm George, the guy behind the bars and the voice behind the mic, and today we got a fun trail up to Crown King. We're gonna start out on a couple of little side trails. I think one is called Daniel's Ridge, and then we're gonna go up to Little Wolf Creek, and then we're gonna hit up Ostra Creek, which Ostra Creek's kind of a well-known creek here. It's a pretty well-known trail. The other ones, I think we're the only guys that have ridden this trail in a very long time. They're very rutted out. But to get to there, we have to go in the little ranch roads. There's some cattle gates coming up, but these ranch roads are very rutted out and rocky. You're only out them for about 1.5 miles, 2 miles from where we parked. There's many places to park. There was below us, and I got a big rig, so I have to look for a big flat open ground. I was able to find one on the map. So here we go. So throughout the ride, you got a couple of cattle fences, gates that you got to go through, and they got little signs on them that just says, "Please close the gate after you go through. Don't leave them open." So, which is real nice, you know. Some private landowners don't want you going through their property at all. This owner doesn't care. He just says, "Close the gate after." So that's pretty cool. And so don't be the riders that ruin it for the rest of everyone else. We want to continue to use these trails, so please be respectful of people's property. If they say close the gate, close the gate. Alright, so we just ride this ranch road for a little while. It gets pretty rutted out, pretty rocky. Like no one's going on this road. A lot of these roads are like this. They're just very rocky terrain. Kind of remind me of how like harsh Nelson Hills was. But no one's been here in a long time, and when we get to our first single track section, like you can tell no one's ridden this in a very long time. So we ride that a ways until our first single track section. It's on the map, and now I've never been to this area before, so I'm just kind of guessing at what single track trails to take out. We're to ride on, and this was a rough one. It looks like it's almost abandoned. No one's been on this trail in a very long time, and these might just be like old hunting trails, you know, someone had a quad back in the day, or they're just like checking the cattle fence trail, something like that. But it was listed, and we're taking it, and it's really rough, really rutted out, which I like. The rougher it is, the harder the trail. I'm telling you, that's my jam. I love the hard enduro style riding. The rocks here kind of giving way under the tire. It's real bumpy, so you got to be up on the pegs and letting the bike and suspension doing its thing, not bouncing all around. It's kind of hard. There you go. There, I'm just standing up. I can tell because the fender got lower. That's the giveaway. When the fender's down at the bottom, I'm standing. When you can see the handlebar across, then usually I'm sitting. So hopefully I'll do a lot more standing. I'm going to pop it up on the right hand side to get out of this rut, and that was a good line choice. I'm always thinking about, like, you know, when you ride you think about a good line, a bad line, and sometimes I like taking the hard line, and other times I'm trying to, like, okay, I need to ride a little smarter. If I can pop out of this rut, it's going to make it a lot easier. Or if there's an obstacle, you know, that I want to practice on, then I will hit the harder line. Right there, I let Kyle get up a little ahead of me. That way I could have a little bit more momentum. The rock's real loose. It's giving away under the tire. So any momentum you can. As you guys know, hill climbs, going uphill, you know, momentum is always your friend. So if you can keep it going, keep it going. we've been riding for the last 5 days straight. You watch the other videos, we've had all kinds of terrain, different style of terrain, different style of riding. And we are finishing our last day here with our longest ride. And it's a hard enduro style of ride, so good way to finish. I mean, this is all trail here. We're gonna get through this cattle guard. It's gonna go up. It's gonna be pretty hard, pretty rocky. The struggle is gonna be real, getting up this this little hill here. The trail is kind of abandoned, but it's still on the map, so we're just following the map at this point. Remember to close the cattle fences, guys. Don't be that group of riders that ruins it for everyone else. Alright, here we go. So this is a nasty rocky climb. The trail's abandoned. Like, yeah, no one's ridden this trail probably in several years. It's on the map, so we're hitting it up. It's very rocky. You got the weeds hiding a lot of the boulders. The whole time to riding, you're just like, I don't want to get hit by a boulder in the middle. And then watch Kyle up ahead. Yeah, boom! He just got bucked off his bike right there. Little sneaky boulders.
You alright?
Yeah, get back on. The horse, when you get bucked off, you gotta get right back on. It does play with your head a little bit. You don't want to get bucked off again. He's got to bend his wheel back straight again. That happens quite a bit. You think they would think of making something so you can't twist your handlebars, you know, put it in a stop or just put in some teeth or some way to lock the tire in. So, you know, happens quite a bit. I know you can tighten the nut down more, but you know, his brand new bike is doing it. I have a 2007 bike and it does it. They all do it. Like 2016 does it. You're always having to, if you have a bad fall, straighten out the wheel again. I think they would make something so you want to do that. Kyle's on a little bit of a struggle. He's getting bucked out. Probably played with his confidence a little bit. But you can see that the weeds are kind of just hiding all the rocks, and it is very rocky. You kind of have to have a little luck and just trust in your bike that it's going to do the job. Yeah, I'm getting kicked out too. Saved it though. I didn't get bucked off. I'm surprised his bike's getting hot already. You know, I mean, we've been climbing, but this hasn't been too big of a climb. And his bike was already getting hot, so I don't know if maybe his water's a little low or fan didn't kick on, or if it's just got thermostats a little set a little higher maybe. I don't know. Look at this. Oh, it's so rocky. This is nasty. It's good training right here. That's what it is. We got some hard enduro races coming up this year, and this was a good trail to train on. Those big boulders right in the middle of the trail there. Colin, he's leading the charge today, and he's doing really well. He just keeps plugging away, going uphill. You can see all the big boulders just rolling around there. It's steep. Like camera never shows you how steep things are, but we're going uphill at a pretty good grade here. Rocks are getting in the way. Get out of the way, rocks. With all the big rocks there, it's just impossible to carry momentum. You're constantly battling the rolling boulders, you know. They're all about grapefruit size, you know, baseball size. Kyle says go just past me, and I get right to where he is, and kind of just doing the same thing he was doing, kind of just stuck. You get gas though. I think he was just really tired, so he needed a little break. And sometimes you just gotta take a little break, catch your breath, and then hit it one more time, and you'll get through no problem. Just rocking it back, forward, trying to get a little momentum in the loose rocks here. Colin, he's up ahead. The top there, that dead tree up there in the horizon, that's where we got to get to. And then it's over the hill and then down the other side. Just can't get it started. Come on, Roxy, let's go. Just need a little bit of momentum to get it going here. It's real steep, and the rocks are just giving way. As long as I keep my balance, though, I'm not using too much energy. You know, it's just a little throttle, a little clutch. I'm really not pushing with my legs at all. I'm just letting the bike do the work. Oh, finally on the top. Ooh, that was a battle. Then we got to go down the other side. The other side, it's the same style of trail. It's just this old abandoned trail, which is probably just used by cattle now or deer or something like that. And very rocky, pretty darn steep. So just trying to stay smart about going downhill, keeping the speed down. I mean, the boulders are rolling left and right, so I don't want to wipe out and have it stand right in my face. So it is taking my time. Got the engine off. Yeah, it's steep, so you don't really need any power, but just letting it roll down and just trying to stay slow. I don't want to get out of control here and have the front tire just get thrown sideways by some dumb rock that rolled on it. We're gonna go through this valley, and we need a little break. We need this isn't the Astra Creek. This is, what's the name of this? I'll have to look it up. Let me look it up real quick.
Damn it.
All right, so this is Little Wolf Creek, which is nothing special. Like, this isn't gonna make anyone's highlight reel, but it was just some nasty, gnarly, rocky terrain. The trail, it wasn't fun, but if you're crazy like me, I like it. So it wasn't flowy at all. If you like a flowy trail, stay away from this one. Forearms getting a workout. And just going downhill with no power is a lot of work. Wearing me out. Alright, well that went on for a while. I don't need to show you all of that because it was pretty much the same. But it goes on for a while. It finally gets onto like a main little Jeep road here, and then it'll connect to a main service road up here. And now we're going to be off to the Arastra Creek. I think I'm saying it right. Arastra? It just sounds funny to me. So this is like the main road. You can bypass all that. Well, we parked the rig. We could have just went straight on this main road all the way to Arastra Creek. But I'm glad we did that little side trail, that Little Wolf Creek. That really set the tone for the day. So here we go, Astra Creek. Same thing, you got these cattle guard fences, so you gotta make sure to close them. Don't leave any open.
All right.
Or they'll probably stop letting us ride through here. This is a really fun creek trail.
Wow.
Very flowy, very fast paced. A little bit technical sections, and then it's got a little, probably overgrown. And we come out the other side, it gets pretty overgrown. But after that previous section we did, it was just beating us up. This is going to be a cakewalk because it doesn't have any of the large rocks, whereas we had in the previous. You can see how much more worn this is. It's a pretty popular trail. So people remove all the rocks that they don't like. This is fun. We got some speed now. And very flowy. It's going to zigzag around here, and then it's going to drop down into this creek. And the creek has a lot of rock sections, a lot of like drop-off sections. It's a lot of fun. Left all these fence crossings in, so you can see it's not me. We close the fence, so we open and then we close every time. So if you found one that was open, it wasn't us. So at the end of this pond here, the water comes out. It has this trench, and I'm gonna almost go right into it right here. Boom! That was a close call. My front tire, if that would have dropped in there, I would have just planted it right over the handlebars and had a bad day. Riding's like that sometimes. You just dodge bullets. I just dodged a bullet right there. Kyle, he's got his confidence back because he's going pretty quick now. Colin, even I'm feeling pretty good. I'm keeping up with them. Usually in the flowy stuff, they run off and leave me. I need some obstacle to slow them down. But I'm keeping up with them, so I feel pretty good. Almost run into the left right there. Woo, came in a little hot. That probably would have wiped me out right there. Another one dodged. Drop down into the creek here, and you can just see it gets really chunky, but it still has a good flow to it. And even here, you know, it is really chunky rock, but you keep your speed up, and the rocks weren't moving on us, and you pick a good line, and you can just send it right through pretty quick. Going pretty quick through all these rocks here through the creek. I keep thinking I'm going to turn the corner and I'm going to see Colin or Kyle just laid out with his bike crashed. But all these step downs and rocky areas, you know, we're just going right through it. It's pretty good. Just having a lot of fun through this creek. You know, there's the different line choices you can take through the rocks. I get to watch Colin, and he's probably watching Kyle, and we're all picking different lines or doing the same line as the guy ahead of us. Got a really rocky section coming up here, little waterfall, drop down. I guess it's not a waterfall, it's just a series of just jagged rock. It goes down pretty good. Colin goes to the right there. I'm going to go through the middle, and I think I have a better choice there. That was a little bit easier. This is a fun section. Astra Creek. If you guys ever get a chance, hit up Arastra? I think I'm saying it wrong. Arastra Creek. This is a fun, challenging creek to go through. the trail kind of bounces in, goes out sometimes, and drops back in. There's another side trail that goes around, climbs up the hill to the right. And we didn't take that, we just stayed on the creek mostly the whole way through. And right here, Kyle, he missed the trail. He thinks it drops back into the creek, but then it went back up, so it makes a little U-turn. Colin's leading. Kyle's got to work on his pivots. Give him a hard time about his pivot turns. He always says he's not tall enough, but he's not a short guy. I mean, he's got shorter legs than I do, but he's not a short guy. I think he's still 5'10", so he's still got some height on him. Coming up here is another cattle gate in the middle of the creek, kind of a different spot, but I guess, yeah, they got to have a gate right here. Same thing, go through, make sure that you close it behind you. We got our system worked out, so we get through them pretty quick. Look at that, everyone's standing on their pegs. Good form, boys. Got it in your back sitting down. So you got to sit when you can rest, sit when you can to rest, and then you stand when you need to stand. That's my strategy. Standing definitely helps on the rock sections. You know, you have a tendency to want to sit down in the rocks, but if you stand, the bike can shift under you, and your center of gravity of your body weight will help keep your bike from being tossed. If you're sitting on the bike and hits a rock, then your body weight gets tossed, plus the bike weight gets tossed, and there's like no way to save it. So it feels a little unnatural, but if you stand in the rocky sections, even though the bike is going left and right or moving all around, your body's center of gravity, your body's mass will help right the bike once it's past that rock section. Up ahead, we got a fallen tree across the creek, and I couldn't wait. I was like, yes, a log. I train a lot of logs at my house. I have this little obstacle course that I set up for myself. Because logs are like everyone's weakness. If there's, it's kryptonite to dirt bike riders. Because everyone wants to cut the tree down, and all the trail riding you do, there's always people with chainsaws just cutting all the trees. And I've done a lot of riding without it, so it gives me a chance to shine. Just give it a little pop, right over, no problem. Colin went around, and I think Kyle now seeing me go over, got his confidence up, and he was able to get over pretty good. But I love to see the logs. That is like kryptonite to dirt bike riders, seeing a log in the middle of the trail. Everyone out with their chainsaws, cutting down logs. I'm like, just let them lay. You know, you got to practice. You got to just get that confidence, start practicing going over logs, and they're a lot of fun. Here's another log, but it had too much branches all around it. And so we just went around this one. But if I was solo by myself, I would have probably tried to pick a way through that tree there just for the practice of it. But we're moving. No time for that. Coming up here, there's a little branch that sticks out, and it's gonna whack you right there. And then the trail cuts right, and we miss it, so we're supposed to go right back there. So we go down here for a bit, and then we have to backtrack, come back, get back onto the single track. And this goes up this creek. This is a fun section here. It's real tight. Goes through the creek, kind of left and right. It's a lot of grass. And this is like a separate creek. I think it's still Astra Creek. There's just a separate section to it. It's different riding than how the first part was. battery swap, put a new battery in the GoPro. Puts me far behind the boys now. They ran off and left me, so I got to make up some time in hopes, you know, they have an obstacle or something to slow them down. We don't have a pack talk system. I've talked about this in other videos. An intercom system when you're riding with buddies is so helpful. I love them. I wear a Cardo Pack Talk Slim, and it works very well for what I need. You know, yeah, could it be better? Yes. You lose line of sight with people, it does cut out. But as soon as you know, if you cross over the hill or snaking back through the canyon, it'll reconnect, and you can be able to talk to each other. So even if they're like half mile ahead and they crest up on a hill or something like that, it'll connect and you guys can talk to each other. It also relays, so if you have several riders, it'll relay through the different riders, so you'll be able to talk to the guy in front even though they're way out of the way. So I'm trying to make up time here, and Kyle has stopped ahead. His little brush guard bolt holds his brush guard on his handlebar. Bolt fell off. So he stopped there and he's looking for the bolt, and so then I meet him up here, and then I have to backtrack. All this stuff I just rode, I ride really slow looking for his down bolts, which really, yeah, I was never going to find it, so a total waste of time. So this was a long day of riding. We did a lot of extra waste of time riding that wasn't necessary. But here he is. He's looking for his bolt for his handguard. So we're gonna waste about 10 minutes of time looking for this dumb bolt. He's probably gonna safety wire the thing on. So Kyle does pack safety wire and some swipes, so he's a big safety wire. He's talked me into carrying safety wire, so I carry safety wire in my pack too. And I do have zip ties, but the safety wire is a little stronger and more reliable, so that came in clutch. Pack some safety wire into your little bag. It's going to help you out. The hand guards are going to come into play later on. The Bradshaw trail that we're going to ride starts getting really overgrown, really tight, really thick with brush, just branches and trees. So you got to make sure your hand guards are there, ready to go. Coming up here is another cattle fence that was down already, so it was already laid down. We came through and I closed it. Somebody had gone through here and forgot to close the cattle guard, so whoever it was, I saved you because we closed it. So there it is right there. It might have been the rancher, who knows, but I was like, hey, I'm not going to leave it closed, so I'm closing it. There's a sign right there. It says, please close the gate. So
it's like someone forgot to close the gate.
Whoever it was didn't close that gate, but I got him. I got you. Don't worry about it. I'll close the gate for you. Yeah, no cow's gonna get through that fence. I have cows in my house, and I'm telling you, they are smarter than they look. Here's a cool little creek crossing. Those cows figure out how to open the gates all the time, and they get out. They're like the dog. If you ever have dogs that get out of their fence and they're all proud, they figured out how to get out of the fence. Cows are the same way. They get out, and they get their buddies out, and they'll roam around the whole countryside. And then your neighbor calls you, and you're like, hey, your cows are out, and then you gotta go round them up, put them back in. So there's some private property up here on the right. There's like this little cabin, and it's not like a maintained cabin. It looks like it's someone's homestead or property that they use once every 10 years or something like that. But the trail goes around it, and it does have some no trespassing signs there, so just, respect people's property and stay away. We went around, and the trail kind of gets lost. It goes onto this main road here, branch road, service road, and you got to kind of find where the trail connects, because because it keeps on going up this canyon to our right. So it connects to this little forest road right there, and you take it down a little bit and head left. The trail is not really, you can go up around right or down around left. There's private property to the right, so just stay away from that. It does have no, like I said, no trespassing signs there. So we hop back on the trail and we're off. This was a really fun section too. This gets really overgrown, a lot of rocks, tall grass too. The tall grass once again hides the rocks on the trail, and it's easy to get bucked off if you're not paying attention here. This part of the trail was getting really technical and a lot of fun. A lot of the rocks are just making it work, Not like how the creek was a lot of fun too. I mean, I love the variation. So you get to ride the creek, that kind of ride for a while, and then you got this hill climb side of a canyon, steep drop offs, real tight. You got the brush over, getting in real tight, real close to you. It was a lot of fun.
Almost went off the course.
Here comes the grass. That grass, it just starts hiding all the obstacles. We're still going at a pretty good clip here. Kyle, he's not letting off the pace. And you can just see the trail through that grass. It only is about as wide as your tire is, so you just gotta be vigilant and be looking ahead so you don't hit that rock like that. You're calling. You caught a rock.
You alright?
Back at it. You just see how a lot more overgrown this is. Colin, he got his wrists all scraped up. At the end of the ride, he had blood come down his wrist. Come down here, gotta cross the creek. Love when there's a creek crossing in the trail. You get the true Enduro experience. You got, rocks, logs, sand, hills, descents, climbs, and now you got water crossings. This is what Enduro riding is all about.
Tall grass.
Alright, we got a pretty crazy creek crossing right here. To get through, it's got some rather little rock section, and it's got a little climb up the other side. It's a pretty hard enduro style crossing right here. Kyle makes a cross. Colin's gonna take that route, and once you get to where Kyle's at, it kind of splits. You can go left, which is a little bit easier, and then you go right, which is a little bit harder. And this is one of them scenarios when I picked the harder line. that left line there, yeah, it's a little bit easier. And the right one is
Oh,
it's got some roots at the top that really stick out. So I'm just gonna do a little pivot to the right here, get that front tire in the groove, and then I'm gonna get up here a little bit more, get that back tire in the groove. And I'm gonna make a run at it. Not quite enough gas. I should have had a little bit more throttle and popped that front end a little higher. It would have got that back tire up on top of the rock. Instead, I got it exactly where I didn't want it to get, where it's just on the case. Now you got to spend so much energy trying to get that back tire up and over that little lip. I was able to get her though. I'd like to do, if we had more time, I'd like to give that another run, just so you get more practice. You know, those lips, it's always you coming in a little too slow. You're not aggressive enough. You got to be a little bit more aggressive to be able to get that back tire to pop over, and not get stuck behind the lip of that rock.
Maybe. Woo.
Yeah, we got some trees. Gonna get tight, real tight through here. Watch your hands. Watch your fingers.
Alright.
Now the 250 is just loving it. Eating it up. It's just epic riding through there. Love that section. More. That's all you want. More of that. Crossing this creek right here, and I'm gonna this shift and hit neutral. I don't know how that's happening. I keep doing this whole ride. I keep shifting the neutral right before like a log or a ledge or step up, whatever it was. It's driving me crazy. But you don't want to do that. Miss shift right before an obstacle. The shifter was bent a little bit. I don't know why, but it was just throwing my toe off. I couldn't get the sense of where the shifter was. See that little pink ribbon back there? Like, who's putting pink ribbon? It's like the only one I saw. Pink ribbon out in the middle of nowhere here. Maybe it's marking that fallen tree cut. Gotta leave the trees. I'm the only guy that wants the logs. Everyone else just wants the trees cut. I know. I'm the only guy that says leave the logs as they lay, because I practice and I want a chance to use it. Tall grass. It's making me nervous. Thinking there's gonna be something that's gonna bite me. Oh, little dip right there. That's a little dangerous. Watch out for those dips. A little creek cut out a little rut in the trail. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you get out to this part of Arizona, hit up Crown King. It's many ways to get up there. This was a fun way. We went up mainly the Astra Creek Trail, and then it does go on a little bit further than where we turn off up here. You can keep riding that, and there's some other trails up above it as well, but we're trying to get over to Crown King, and we're going to move on to the Bradshaw Trail, which is a pretty hardcore trail in itself. So hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Until then, get out and ride and get some. Yew!
That's pretty fun.